A friend of Aguerd's has come out on Instagram and suggested that Aguerd has been frozen out of West Ham for rejecting offers from Turkey and Saudi. Now, I have gone away and I've done some very official investigating for you. So here is everything that you need to know. Yes, West Ham Network, it's Holly. I hope you're all well. So I'm actually back with another bit of news, which I wasn't expecting to cover, but the news never stops during the transfer window, does it? Because Aguerd's friend has come out and suggested that the centre-back has been frozen out of the club because of rejecting offers from Turkey and Saudi. So if you enjoy this video, as always, you know what I'm going to say. Please give it a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's take a little look at what we know so far. So here we have the screenshot of the Instagram post in question, which none of us can understand. As you can see, it's been reposted by Hatim Finani. And here, as I'm sure you're waiting for, is the direct translation of what that means. So as you can see, it speaks about problems with West Ham because of refusing to move to either Turkey or Saudi, with the club being frustrated because they would have benefited financially if either of these moves was to have happened. So we've been speaking about Aguerd being on the move for a little while now, so this doesn't come as the biggest surprise. Kilman is Lopetegui's go-to centre-back. Mavropanos has done well in the games that he's played in this season. We've also got Todibo that we've brought in, and suddenly Aguerd finds himself as the fourth choice centre-back. And simply put, we don't have space. We don't need two centre-backs on the bench. So he's also not been on the bench in either of our last two, well, only two Premier League games, which says a lot. And there just isn't space for him as things currently are, making it likely that we may well want to cash in. And Aguerd's friend also said that the reason for him refusing to go to those clubs is that he still sees himself as in a position to play more competitively, which of course is understandable, but it is going to cause that standoff between the player and the club because they've both got very different interests. If Aguerd wants to play at the most competitive kind of league that he can, and the club wants to cash in for the most money when Saudi teams are after him, conflict of interest, they're never going to agree on that. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. But how close is Aguerd to this friend? Can he be trusted? Well, I've had a little stalk for you, and the two of them are together in almost every other photo on Hatim's Instagram. As you can see, they have pool days, they have meals together, they celebrate things together. So it appears that they know each other very well. It's not just a stranger clutching at straws. There he is with the Conference League trophy. So given that Aguerd is thought to be on around £60,000 a week, and apparently he's held his market value, which is great. There was actually a really interesting video from earlier where Anton ran through all of the players we could potentially get rid of and what their market value is now compared to when we brought them in. So go and give that a watch. This would be the perfect time for us to part ways with him and say goodbye if we've got no plans for him and no idea how we're going to use him, particularly given he's got a contract until 2027. So he's here for a long time. The question that I have is if we end up with a stalemate, I think things could start getting messy because I don't quite know what would happen if Aguerd isn't willing to move to any of the teams that want him and we have no use for him. Obviously, he can do what players have done in the past and what happens a lot of Man United, where people will sit and take the wages and we don't have any use for them, which is, again, the risk. We've spoken about it before, especially Chelsea's approach to it. But when you sign players on these long-term contracts, if suddenly you don't have a need for that player anymore, or they get a bad injury or their form dips, or you have a new manager that doesn't rate them, or you bring in replacements and prefer them over them, suddenly you're stuck in quite a difficult situation, paying the wages that you've committed to for the length of that contract, unless the player wants to leave to go where you say. So you can end up with a little bit of a stalemate, which it looks as though could happen, which would be a big shame. But the question I have, why is this friend posting this? Because it's clearly something that Aguerd will have agreed to. He's not going to have gone rogue and posted this. They're very close by the looks of these photos. So it appears that the player may be trying to play a little bit of a game of chess with the club by making it public that they're not including him. And obviously, Aguerd can't be to blame if it wasn't him that said anything. It was just his friend. So yeah, the question I've got for you, though, is what are your thoughts on this post? Let us know down below in that comment section. Does this change your opinion on Aguerd? Do you think we should give him the harsh treatment if he's refusing to go to either league where there are offers for him when we don't have a place in our team? Or would you be okay with him going to a European side for less money if anybody comes in for him? There have been rumours for a very long time now about him wanting to leave. And his friend now appears to have confirmed this with that thumbs up that he put, the two little burp faces, and then the burp. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But the question is, can things be resolved before they turn nasty? I hope that it doesn't end with a nasty end, and I hope that we can get decent money for him, seeing as he's one of the few players that we can get rid of that currently is actually worth something. It'd be a massive shame if we end up just sort of sitting on him him in our squad. So it could be a very interesting and busy end to the transfer window. So stay tuned. But that's all from me for now. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. And whether you're a new subscriber or you are an old faithful, please turn on those notifications so that you get notified every time we make a video. And of course, get involved in that discussion down below, because we are going to be doing reaction videos to your replies where we discuss all the things that you've spoken about, and we get loads of people's opinions on all sides of debates, whether you're pro him leaving, whether you're against him leaving, whatever it may be. Drop it in that comment section. There's no judgment in there as well. That's the rule. We're not going to judge anyone for their opinions. We will just discuss different opinions. Until next time, have a great one. Come on, you irons.